So let's start. Welcome to the settlement geography class. So what today we will discuss what we will be going to study in settlement geography. Any idea what we will be going to study in settlement geography? Yes? Any idea?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, how humans have settled over the globe,
Yes.
in what pattern?
Yes. And the pattern, yes, of course. The first thing, before that, first thing we are going to study is what are rural and what are urban settlements. Definitions. We will define, though you know, but we will briefly define what are rural settlements and what are urban settlements. And second thing is, you can see the board. Yes, you can see the board.
No, sir, properly did
No, sir.
Okay, I will adjust it. Now, I think it's
Sir, half of the portion.
okay.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
up visible.
Okay, so first thing is we will define rural and urban settlement. What are rural settlements and what are urban settlements? There are mainly two types of settlements: rural settlements and urban settlements. Second is what is the site? What is the siting structure? Any idea what is the siting? What is the site? Yes. Site and
Sir,
structure.
location.
Yes, location. We will discuss them one by one. Site and structure mainly. Okay. Third thing is we will going to study in is spatial organization of the settlement. And a very important thing is settlement environment relationship. Settlement environment relationship, their dynamics. And last thing is salient features of any settlements, so many settlements. Salient features. These are the broad things we are going to study. Before that, what is a settlement? How will we define settlement? What is a settlement? Yes. What is a settlement?
So, settlement can be defined as any distribution or any pattern distribution of human being, how they are living on the surface, how they arrange their living, like where they how
Yes,
pattern
yes,
of the
yes, you are right, Tarim. Where people settle in an orderly manner. Hmm? It's a collection of shelters where people settle. To settle means when you hear the word settle, what do you think about it? What is settle? What is to be settled? Yes.
सर जहाँ पे इंसान की ज़रूरत की चीज़ें और एसेसरीज चीज़ें जिसके थ्रू वो अपनी लाइफ स्पेंड कर सके वहाँ पे कोई भी सेटल हो सकता है.
Yeah, you're right. That is the site. You are defining site, but what it is to mean by to settle?
So to build house and to live. Sir,
Yes, Khushbu.
to stay at a place.
To stay at a place. थोड़ा और कुछ जोड़ दीजिए. To stay at a place for some time. Yes, Tarim.
And so fulfill basic needs.
To settle means to stay at a place for quite some time, for a substantial time. तभी तो हम settle होना कहते हैं उसे. To settle down means to stay at a place or in a state. Here we mean by a place a site where people stay for quite some time, for a substantial time. If you are residing in a place for 1 or 2 days or 1 month, it is not settling down. Do you getting me what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So to settle means to stay at a place for quite some time, and that too in some shelters. What are shelters? Shelters are, yes, we live in houses. We can call them shelters also. To start with, they were not houses, they were shelters. The shelters means what do we, uh, for what we do need a shelter. Yes,
Sir, to live in and to protect ourselves.
yes, for defense against enemies and against animals or any predator, and yes,
Sir, to live in.
to live in and to defense to defend against vagaries. The shelter shelters us from the vagaries of the climate, vagaries of the element of climate, from rain, from cold, from high temperatures. We mean we build shelters for defense
Protection.
against, yes,
Protection.
protection, and protection from enemies, protection for dangerous animals, and protection from the vagaries of climate
Climatic conditions.
mainly. We need a shelter. There are many types of shelters there. Uh, can you name some of the shelters? Igloo, huts, and in the very ancient time, people were living in, yes, what they were living in? Any place which satisfies these defenses is a shelter. सबसे पहले इंसान कहाँ रहता था? तो उसने एक परमानेंट शेल्टर सॉरी, यस, जो सबसे पहले इंसान ने एक परमानेंट शेल्टर बनाया, व्हाट वाज दैट?
Okay.
Yes, they lived in cave, one of the ancient shelters. They and then after caves, after caves, after caves, tents. We made tents, and tents became more and more protective, more and more solid. पहले तो हमने बस सिंपल सा केव बना लिया जो हवा से और धूप से और एनिमल्स से हमें छुटकारा देता था. Then what we done? We lined them with animal skins so that temperature, we can have a defense against the temperature, extremes of temperature. Then what we done? Visualize it. What we done? We have, because settlement is not one single house. It is one single house. Yes, yes, Mugda. किसी सेटलमेंट में हम एक ही घर बनाते हैं या दो घर बनाते हैं या
No, sir.
इट इज अ कलेक्शन ऑफ शेल्टर्स. सेटलमेंट जब हम बात करते हैं तो इट इज अ कलेक्शन ऑफ शेल्टर्स, राइट? तो फिर हमने क्या किया, उसके आसपास एक वॉल बनाई, एक प्रोटेक्टिव वॉल बनाई, है ना? तो दैट वाज द स्टार्ट ऑफ द गोइंग टुवर्ड्स द टाउन with the diversification of economy and a protective wall. So first thing we are going, in very brief, first thing we are going to study in this paper, settlement geography, is definitions of rural and urban settlements and their merits and demerits. Second thing is settlement site and structure. So, what we are coming to, what is rural and what is urban? A very quick recap. Actually, you know beforehand what is rural and what is urban. Yes. What is rural and what is urban? Yes. Have a quick recap. What is rural? Yes.
Sir, rural is where people are engaged in primary activities.
Most of the people are engaged in primary activities, and in urban settlement.
So, in urban settlement, people are engaged in secondary and tertiary activities.
Yeah, other than primary activities.
Most.
That came with the diversification of economy. As our disposable income grew, as we became prosperous, then we started some other activities other than primary activities. Okay, for we will discuss in details afterwards. Then second broad heading in this paper we are going to study is settlement site and structure and their internal morphology and external form, field patterns, functions, and house types. So, to make it simple, it is settlement site and structure. What is a site? Someone told me in the beginning. Yes. What is a site?
Location.
Location. Like, can you give any example of? Yes. Can you give any example? Like,
So, for example, rural areas are generally countryside areas, whereas cities or urban areas.
I'm asking
cover-
about geographical points. Yes. Means geographical locations. What are mean geographical locations? Yes. Like on the top of the hill, like on the bank of a river, like around a water body, like on a hillock, like on a cliff. These are sites, and siting very greatly affect how the settlement will shape up, what its shape will be, what its morphology will be, what its external form will be. If it is located, if it is sited on a bank of the river, then it is mainly linear, isn't it? Linear and rectangular. If it is situated on around the pond or a lake, it will be circular. So we will study what. And this third thing we are going to study is spatial organization. What we mean by spatial organization? What is the hierarchy of the settlement? What are their distances? क्या दूरी है सेटलमेंट्स के बीच में? What is the hierarchy? कितने बड़े और छोटे सेटलमेंट है? We are going to study that. Hierarchy of the settlement. We will discuss. And spacing. What is the spacing between these settlements? And what is the how the urban settlement, how the rural settlements changed into urban settlements? That we are going to study. And then a very important thing we are going to study is settlement environment relationship. What is the relationship between the environment and settlement? What are their regional patterns, policies, and programs? And then salient features are of individual human settlements, some spatial salient features. These things, so what we are going to study in this paper, what are rural and urban settlements, about we are going to study about site, of the settlement. We are going to study of their spatial organization, size, spacing, and hierarchy. We are going to study settlement environment relationship, the global and regional patterns, and then we are going to study some salient features of human settlement. This is the main subject matter of settlement geography paper.